Alright guys, here we are on SingGear, the channel dedicated to driving simulators, but not super professional driving simulators, rather what can be achieved in an apartment at home with a so-called limited budget because you need some money, and that allows us to fully immerse ourselves in driving a car. As you can see, I've already done some preparations. We are in Imola, driving a beautiful Alfa Quadrifoglio. However, the first thing that bothers me, I noticed it right away, are the bezels of the monitors, between the three monitors, because it's true that total immersion, look how beautiful it is. I turn right and left. The graphics are not bad thanks to a Pentium i7 with an RTX 3070. We have 80 FPS in the race, but if I try to get involved, these bezels always remind me that I am still in front of a PC. So I looked into it. There are products from a well-known computer company that go between the monitors and reflect the side images, minimizing the impact of the bezels. The problem is they are not available commercially in Italy, except through Amazon, but that would be the least of it, and the cost is higher than that of a good monitor. Moreover, they are adaptable, only up to a maximum of 27-inch monitors. So I did some research and discovered what? I found out that they are made of the same material that covers the liquid crystals in flat monitors. Well, I got hold of an old monitor that we are going to break apart together. I've never done it in my life. We will recover that sheet of reflective material in front of the LCDs, cut some strips, and place them between our monitors. Then we will see the result. If the result is satisfactory, we will have avoided a big expense. For those, I don't know what to call them because they have a name that I don't want to mention, to avoid giving them publicity and not to cast a bad light on those who have done a great job, because eliminating the bezels was definitely a good idea. We want to do it at zero cost. Follow me into my garage, where we will break a nice monitor and check the result. Of course, we will also change at least the crown, because as you can see, it's hard to read the data from this beautiful Alpha in this splendid Italian circuit, which is Imola. Well, if I keep going like this, I'll get hooked on playing. So in this splendid Italian circuit, which is Imola, well, if I keep going like this, I'll get hooked on playing. So if
I stop, let's block and go to the garage, guys.
Okay, let's cut the cables we don't need. Let's see what we have here. Let's see what we have here. Then so what we need to do now is access the screen. This is also mentioned, and each TV or monitor is made in its own way. Okay, we need to open it. This is also very nice.
Now, the nice part is accessing the slides. Let's see how it goes. In this particular segment, we are going to proceed with a very decisive and thorough cut. This means we will be removing or trimming down certain parts with precision and care. So, let's take a closer look to determine whether the necessary adjustments need to be made in this section or perhaps in another part of the content. It's important to ensure that the final result is both effective and efficient, aligning with our overall objectives and goals. This should be the reflective sheet. Let's see. Let's break all these mixes, one after another. Either this, or likely, perhaps this. Now we need to understand exactly which of these sheets is the one I have to use for our goal.
In my opinion, it's him, guys. We did it. Well, we recovered these three sheets. It should be this one.
that placed in the middle of the monitor reflects me. I must say I'm a bit excited because when I create a file for you with good results, you're always happy. All right, let's take a look. Let's pause the camera for a moment. All right, guys, we have obtained our sheet, the one behind the monitor. Now, it's about understanding, depending on the width of our edges, what thickness to cut. Look at the difference. Okay.
This is the wrong part, and this is the right part, and I must say that I consider myself extremely satisfied. Very, very, very satisfied. Fantastic. Now that I know this is the right size, I will cut more strips of this size to protect myself from any little mistakes. So, now I will stop the video and then I will show you the final result. Well guys, this is the frame removed. This is the frame not removed. We are back in Imola. We are back on our Alpha. But we no longer have the edges of our monitors, all thanks to a used monitor that was about to be thrown away, so zero cost, and another form of involvement. You can see that it is true that there is still the presence of an element at the junction point of the monitors, but let's say that while you are engaged in driving, you don't pay much attention to it. Now it's a matter of adjusting the width of the monitors a bit, but it's definitely better at lower costs. So, for those who are not professional sim drivers but want to have fun, this is the best choice you can make to combine the three monitors. I hope you liked what you saw, that you found it interesting, and that you want to give me a like. But above all, since I need subscribers, because this is a fairly new channel in terms of content insertion, I hope you will subscribe to my channel. That said, in the coming days I will make some other modifications to my simulator. We will put a roof on it because I don't want to see the cabinets, the bikes and so on. We will put some nice seat belts and create something that can be replicated by anyone in any small room without the need for a metal structure. But that leads to a good involvement without spending a fortune. The fact that we won't spend a fortune is also demonstrated by the steering wheel that will be updated but will still remain a G29 for now.